right, trumpet players, we're going to talk about your supplies that you should have and where they're going to be going in your case. So like we talked about in our other video, you want to make sure your case is getting open correctly. And if you haven't watched that, you should. But when you open it, there's going to be these little slots you have where you can put things. And they're pretty obvious that you should put things there, right? These little big spaces where you can store stuff. So first off, you have your mouthpiece. And your mouthpiece has a special hole over here, 2 holes, and it just goes right there. Make sure the mouthpiece goes in these little holes and not in these other spaces, because it'll rattle around in there, probably damage your instrument. So make sure they go in the mouthpiece spot. The next thing you should have is some valve oil. It's clear liquid, usually, okay? It should be clear, and this is usually the one that comes with it. And you're going to want to put this in this little spot. If you have it, a separate one from this space that goes underneath. This big hole has space underneath, and you can lose like your caps in there and lose some other stuff, your pencils and stuff in there. So only bigger things in there, smaller valve oils and greases right here, okay? Next thing, you have slide grease. Could look like this chapstick one. Could also look like this little case, okay? Either one's fine. They come in different packages. Those go in the same area. Next, you probably have a polishing cloth. Sometimes it comes with your instrument. Sometimes it comes with the package that you buy. But this is really good to have. It is a separate thing. You should also have a rag or an old t-shirt on your list. And that's for like wiping up all the gunk off your valves and stuff. We'll talk about that later, but 2 separate rags. An old t-shirt and this polishing cloth, which is used for something else. So that can go in there also. Next, you should have a snake. Sometimes it'll come with your instrument or with the package also. And this will have a totally separate video on how to use it, but you just need to know that you should probably have one, and it goes right there in the case also, okay? Some stuff that you need to be aware of. Sometimes the music stores will have these little packages where you actually have everything that you need. Sometimes it comes with some stuff you don't need. So these are okay to buy. We don't really recommend them. You can buy, like everything separately because these packages do have some things you don't need. It has a polished cloth, which is good. It also comes with like this rotary oil for most of the brass instruments. This we don't really use. You can keep it. You don't have to keep it in your case. You can keep it somewhere in your house. We don't really use that all that much. It also comes with bore oil sometimes. We don't need that either. You should only use the stuff that I mentioned earlier. Mouthpiece brush is important. If you don't buy the package, then you have to buy this separately. It's a few dollars, and this is a cleaner mouthpiece, which we'll also talk about more later. This is an important one to have that you should get. If you don't have it, you can buy it separately online on Amazon or a music store or something like that. Okay? Some other things you should be aware of that keep popping up more often. These little red tubes of like Bach slide grease, and it kind of looks like valve oil. Like it looks very similar to valve oil, but it's red. The red stuff should never go in your valves, and we'll talk more about this later. If you do have this, just make sure you're using it correctly, and we'll talk more about how to use it and when to use it in another video. But this is also something that might come with it, and also this tuning slide and cork grease could also come in a package or something. So be aware, if it says tuning slide grease, it's not the same as valve oil, okay? And that's pretty much all I got.